what's up with you? For today's video, with a full Gym Leader Tulip team. I'm continuing the Gym Leader series for Scarlet and Violet. Today we're going to be looking at Tulip's team. So Tulip's got 5 Pokemon, and we've got Farigiraf, Gardevoir, Espartha, Gallade, and Florges. Now Florges is going to be the Pokemon, is going to be the Terra, and I'm only allowed to use that as a Terra. I'm using the exact moves and the exact abilities. I'm adding the EVs and the items. That's it. I'll be keeping the team basically exactly the same. I've got 3 battles today, and I hope you enjoy. If you want to support the channel, people, drop a like on the video, and let's get into it. So first, our trainer, this one is on the Poke Portal, and I'm not really sure what that name means on the Clonsai. So if anyone can pick up on some of these nicknames, I have no idea. Now, we're going to go for the Farigiraf as elite. I've run a physical one with max attack, and Clonsai has got a focus sash. I was like, what the heck? And it's also got poison. I'm like, what is going on here? So I definitely didn't expect that. Now the Clonsai is going to be going for Toxic Spike. So they put 1 layer on the field, but I'm very curious because they must not have any EVs in health or something like that. I have no idea. So this Farigiraf was a max attack and max speed set. Of the EVs, I got Salic Berry, Armor Tails, the ability, Crunch, Zen Headbutt, Iron Head, and Reflect. So that's going to be the end of the Quagsire. Not the Quagsire, the Clonsai. I always get them mixed up on this next attacking move. I sort of thought I'd go for a Reflect on this turn to give me an extra turn of bulk for, what do we got there, like another 4 turns. So I'm just going to go for any attacking move here and finish it off. So I've got Iron Head, I'm going to do that. But yeah, it's the first time I've seen a Focus Sash Clonsai. So it's been a while. I've seen some funny Pokemon that I think a really, really bulky Pokemon have that item. So the next Pokemon here is, what's the trainer name? I have no idea how to say the name. Greninja is the next Pokemon. They're going to swap in. Obviously, they're going to be able to outspeed me there. Go for a Protein Night Slash. It doesn't take me out due to the Reflect. And now I'm going to eat my Salic Berry. So Salic Berry is going to give me a +1 in speed. It's a little bit of a shame that I am poisoned from Poison Point, because I would have actually been able to beat Greninja because I got a crit on that first one. But, that's how the game goes. And that is the end of the Farigiraf. So I was like, okay, the next Pokemon I think I can bring in here and do well be Espartha, because Espartha should be able to live that, that Night Slash, unless it crits me. But even then, I think I might be able to live. So this has Psychic, Quick Attack. For some reason, the Gym Leader has Quick Attack on. I've got no idea why. Shadow Ball and Dazzling Gleam. Now, I managed to live that Night Slash thanks to the Reflect, and I'm going to finish off the Greninja with the Dazzling Gleam. Now, the item I gave this was Normal Gem. I was trying to figure out a fun way to make use of Quick Attack. I'm like, well, I've got max speed and max special attack. What do I do with Quick Attack? I'll just give it a normal gem so it can do, 2 damage instead of 1. Next Pokemon is Pecresi? Is that how you say? Once again, I've got no idea what these nicknames mean. If someone can enlighten me, feel free to. I'm going to go for a Psyche, outspeeding the Iron Valiant. I just dropped it in 1 shot. So things are going pretty good so far, taking out half their team. Now, Espartha's probably got one more attack left in it, and out comes the Guard Chop. I don't know what these nicknames mean either. I'm going to go for the Dazzling Gleam. It actually takes that surprisingly well, so it seems to be a very, very bulky Guard Chop, and I also outsped it too. So Guard Chop is going to set these Stealth Rocks on the field, so they've got 1 layer of Toxic Spikes, and now they've got Stealth Rock. I'm going to go for another Dazzling Gleam, and Guard Chop is going to go for Liquidation, which is interesting. That's going to be able to take out Espartha. Obviously, it only had a little bit of health, so still in a pretty good position here. I've still got 3 Pokemon to go. So I'm going to go into Gardevoir now. This Gardevoir has the Synchronized ability, so it actually doesn't have Trace. I'm going to be Poison. I've got Expert Belt as the item, Psychic, Dazzling Gleam, Energy Ball, and Mystical Fire. And I've got the EV spread as Timid Nature and Max Speed and Max Special Attack. So go for Psychic just to finish off the Guard Chomp, because I know that it's like a slow sort of build there. And that is the end of Guard Chomp. So there's 2 more Pokemon left. Now, this is interesting. So the next Pokemon to come in is going to be Eric Zim. I have no idea what these names are. Is this like some sort of theme team? Like a random sort of theme team? So I went for the Mystical Fire there. Good damage on the Magnezone. It did take it out. Now, this is funny, because Magnezone went for Flash Cannon. I actually managed to live due to the drop on Mystical Fire. that's, virtually why I went for it as well, not only being super effective. So Magnetode's got to swap out, which is interesting, and we got the Chi-Yu coming in. It's like, all right, well, I went for Mystical Fire here. That was a good swap in. My Gardevoir is going to faint this turn, so I guess they just took, like, minimum damage. So a special attack drop on Chi-Yu isn't all that bad either. That might force them to swap out. So that's the end of Gardevoir. I've got 2 more Pokemon left. I've got my Flogs and I've got my Glade. So Glade, I'm going to be swapping it here. This is a Psycho Cut, Leaf Blade, X-Scissor, and Close Combat set. Item's going to be Scope Lens, and ability is going to be Steadfast. So I'm going to take some Stealth Rock damage. I'm poisoned by the 1-layer Toxic Spikes. I've got Max Attack and Max Speed, and I ran this one as Jolly too. Outspeeding Chi-Yu, going for the Close Combat, and that is the end of Melanchon? I don't know. And that's the end of Chi-Yu there. And after the Chi-Yu fainted, they rage quitted. So there you go, a nice little warm baby bottle to start off this battle. I don't know why though, like, I don't know what, I'm not sure what's going on in that battle, but that's some very strange names, and they rage quitted. So there you go, you got a nice little rage quit for the start of the battle there. So next battle, this one is against Super Bowser, and we have a very, very interesting battle here. So we're going to Charizard lead, and it's like, okay, I wonder what this Charizard's going to do. So I can go for Zen Headbutt, maybe try and flinch Kurt. I'm sort of doubting I'm going to be able to outspeed, so maybe Charizard will damage me a bit, pop the Salic Berry if I get in that range, and then try and flinch the rest of the team. So Charizard's going to be like Terra turn 1. I'm like, what is going on here? So Charizard is Terra normal. Now, I smelled a rat here. I seen a belly drum, like, oh no, they're going to try and sweep me like turn 1. So with this attack, I went for Zen Headbutt. I was like, this should actually take it out. And Charizard lived on 1 health. You wouldn't read about it. So now I'm like, man, this team has, I've got 1 Pokemon. I've got Quick Attack. That's it, right? They popped the Terra Scratch. I'm like, oh no, here it comes. And Faradraft gets bodied by Scratch. I can't believe it one-shot it. So Charizard had Life Orb Belly Drum, and it's going to fake itself there. So what a momentous first turn. That's probably the only time you're ever going to see a Faradraft fake to a Belly Drum Scratch Charizard with a Life Orb only on Pinpoint channel. Next Pokemon, of course, is a shiny green dragon. I knew that it was going to be shiny when I seen it in the team preview. So I'm going to go into Gardevoir here. This is a very good matchup for me. Not so much for Dragonite unless it's, got a coverage move and they've already terrored. So the Dragonite is going to swap out of the battle, and in comes Haunter. So, okay, that's a good swap in. I went for Dazzling Gleam, and Haunter's going to take very little damage. I'm assuming it's probably like some sort of bulky Everlight set, or, it just resisted it anyway. So I've got Psychic here. Now, Haunter outspeeds me. Haunter's got good speed, and it went for a Smog. I'm like, Smog? What are these troll sets? So Gardevoir gets poisoned right away there. I think that was... Oh, I think Smog is like I want to say it's a 10% chance. I could be wrong about though. Might be a little bit higher. Anyway, Haunter is going to fade there to a well-aimed, deserved Psychic. So bye-bye, Haunter. So far we've seen Scratch and Smog. So it's been an array of very magical moves here. So Brigadio is going to come in here, and I've got Mystical Fire, I've got Psychic, but I'm thinking like, what is this? What's the next troll set going to be? So I've got Dazzling Gleam. I'm just going to go for that. I'm just going to do some good damage. Yes, Brigadio actually takes that kind of well and goes for a Giga Drain. Giga Drain only does like 1 damage. So I'm like, all right, that's okay. I can finish it off with any move after this. So I don't know what sort of set this Brigadio was. I thought it might be something like some sort of like Focus Sash set. Now it's got Protein Quick Attack. And that nearly faints me. I'm like, wait, I'm going to faint to the poison from the Smog that was earlier done from the Haunter. So that's the end of Gardevoir too. They're really lucky to get that Smog poison. I believe it's only 10%. I just think it's like a really, really low chance. I always remember like Smog is like a really like bad base power too. It should be like 30%. If it's not, like I'd be surprised if it isn't. Anyway, so Pokemon to come in next is going to be Kricketune. Delly, what? I could go for Psychic here. Psychic should be a 1 to 2 hit KO against that. Good damage, but it doesn't take it out. So now it's going to go for a Bug Buzz here. I was like, wait, this is perfect. In case I got any priority or troll moves, I'm going to go for a Quick Attack. I've got Normal Gem as the item because I wanted to get some damage with this move because it's terrible. And I sort of like to use all the moves that the gym leader had to offer. So I went for the Quick Attack, and it's got a Rocky helmet. Come on. I'm just getting trolled this battle. So Kricketune is going to fade, and so is Esparta. You wouldn't read about it. So I've got 2 more Pokemon left. I've got Flogs and the Glade from earlier on. Now, the next Pokemon is the Dragonite, where we seen this earlier on. I was like, okay, well, I'm just going to go for the Terra here. When I use the Terra Pokemon that the gym leader will use, I generally Terra them straight away, unless I forgot, which a couple of times I did forget. Most of the time I didn't forget. So I'm going to go for the Terra Psychic of Florks here, and I can just go for Moonblast. That should do a good amount of damage. Will it take Dragonite out? Probably not, because I'd say I'd be running multi-scale. So Dragonite is a metronome set, and Dragonite pulls out a big old Ice Hammer. I was like, this is going to do a fair bit of damage, and it did just over half health there. Sorry, just under half health to my Florks. I went for the Moonblast here. Now, the thing about the Ice Hammer, it actually drops your speed by 1 stage, so the Dragonite sort of forced to swap out there. Otherwise, it's going to get outspeed and faint. Last Pokemon is going to be the Snom. I was like, oh, let's see what this is going to be. So Whipblast does good damage. Like, I'm going to go for a Petal Blizzard here because I want to use this useless move on Florks, just in case it's a Mirror Coat Focus Band set, right? You never know what's going to happen on PIMPNITE's channel, right? Seriously, you never know. After that scratch and those, that smog and all that sort of thing, you got to agree with me, right? So that's going to be the end of the Snom there. It didn't really do too much. Thank goodness. It probably was a Focus Band set. It wouldn't surprise me. So the last Pokemon is a Dragonite we seen earlier on. Now, they're going to have to be very lucky to roll a powerful physical move here to even fight me. And the Dragonite gets Head Smash. I'm like, come on, Ice Hammer, then Head Smash. That's really lucky. So Florks is going to fade here, and I've got one more Pokemon left, and that is the Glade. So my Glade set is Jolly Nature. So I'm thinking here, unless this Dragonite is like Choice Scarf Metronome, I think I'm going to outspeed it here. So I can go for any move. I've got Psycho Cut, so I just went for that. And that is going to be the end of the Metronoming Shiny Pickle Dragonite. And also, that is the end of the second battle there. Thank you for the battle, Sue Bowser. We're just going to pretend that Scratch Charizard with Life Orb never happened. Just wipe it from your memory, all right? It never happened. Let's get on to the last one. This one is against Psymaster 92, and this is actually a mirror match. So we had, well, it was sort of a mirror match. So we had exactly the same Pokemon. Now, I was thinking to the team period, like, okay, this is going to be really cool because we're going to have exactly the same moves, and I guess the only differences will be the EVs and items we put on the Pokemon and stuff like that. Now, the Pharaoh uses Trailblaze. I'm like, okay, well, Pharaoh doesn't get Trailblaze from the gym leader, so they've got the same Pokemon, but they've got different moves. Like, all right, I've got no idea what they're going to do now. So we've both got Crunch, I guess. Crunch does a little bit of damage there, and it drops my defense. The cool thing is, I actually got a Salic Berry boost from there. So this was running max speed, so I guess their Pharaoh had no speed at all. So I can go for another Crunch here and take out the opposing Pharaoh. So that was a good start to the battle there, I guess. That would have been nice if my Pharaoh actually had Sap Sipper, because that would have got absorbed. But I guess they know that it has Armor Tail being the gym leader's one. Sweet comes the Glade there. Also, the Pokemon are shiny too. So I went for a Crunch, and I got a defense drop. Like, that's pretty cool. Glade is going to use Reflect. So Glade, the gym leader one, actually doesn't have Reflect. Has all attacking moves. Matter of fact, I'm just looking through the gym leader's ones. The only status move this gym leader gets is Pharaoh with Reflect and Florks with Charm. That's it. There's no other setup moves, anything like that. So it made it quite difficult. So I'm going to bring in my own Glade here. I've got Psycho Cut, which is going to do the job. I mean, any of these moves, even close combat will be able to fight the opposing Glade from this range as well. So I can go for Psycho Cut. I'm just going to do that to finish off the Glade. I don't know whether that was the speed type, but that is the end of the opposing Glade there. So that's the end of Pharaoh and Glade. So pretty good start. Next Pokemon is going to be Gardevoir. So this is where the problems, started to occur. So this Gardevoir does not have Synchronize. It's got Trace. So it's going to trace my ability being the Steadfast. I guess I really only have to worry about that if I flinch, and I don't even know if I've got any other flinching moves. Just looking through my team. No, I don't have any flinching moves at all. So this Gardevoir is also going to have Hypnosis, so it's going to put my Glade to sleep. So it's got Hypnosis, and it's also got Draining Kiss, so it's like a bulky set. So Glade's going to take some good damage to that. I could have swapped out, but I thought, no, I'm just going to see if I can wake up the first turn. So at this point, I was like, all right, well, I'm going to swap out here. The Reflector's now gone. I might be able to use that Glade later on. I might be able to get like a lucky wake up. I'm not like banking on it, but I may be able to. So into the own Gardevoir here, it's going to do very, very little damage. It's about a 4-hit KO. So like, okay, this is good. I can go for like Dazzling Gleam here and try and work this thing down. So that's my best move here. I might be able to go for Mystical Fire too. That could be interesting. But I'm going to go for some damage here. So go for Dazzling Gleam, and it does good damage. I'm pretty happy with that. And now my opponent is going to put my second Pokemon to sleep. So like, okay, Yeah, I mean, I could swap out again, but it's going to keep putting my entire team to sleep at this stage. So I was thinking, all right, I'm just going to keep the Gardevoir here. I'm going to try and, like, work it down. And now the Gardevoir, they've given this Wish as well. So this is actually a much better Gardevoir set. It's, like, bulky and had access to Hypnosis as well. So I'm like, okay, I just have to try and wear this Gardevoir down. I don't want to lose my Gallade at this point, but, you know, it probably is going to get lost anyway, so I'm going to try to maybe keep that for last as a, you know, last minute sort of thing. So I was almost going to swap there, and they went for Hypnosis again, so my next Pokemon would have been 3 Pokemon to select them, so I'm glad I didn't swap, and I got some more Dazzling Gleam. But I can't do a lot of damage here with Dazzling Gleam. That's my, you know, my most powerful attack there. So the Gardevoir is healing up itself a lot with Draining Kiss, and it's stalling at the same time, Wish, and putting my entire to sleep team, sleep with the Hypnosis at this point. So another Wish here, Wish 4,000, so they're really stalling hard here. So it's like, oh, I'm going to try and faint this thing. So now they're going to go for another Draining Kiss, and the Gardevoir almost faints, but, you know, then it doesn't. It got the Draining Kiss health back, and then it got its Wish recovery. So I really needed to put it on a low amount of health and not have a Wish coming. That was sort of like my thing here. So I was happy to sacrifice my Gardevoir. So they land another Hypnosis there. I don't think they missed one yet, and my Gardevoir is going to be put to sleep. And this turn, well, they can virtually finish me off with a Draining Kiss because my Gardevoir is sleeping this turn. So instead of going for a Tackle move, they're going to go for a Wish again and keep stalling. And I'm going to be asleep this turn. I was hoping I could wake up and, you know, do some Dazzling Gleam damage, but that didn't happen. So that's the end of my Gardevoir. I wasn't getting much going my way in this battle, right? It was difficult because I had to verse the same Pokemon, but it was like they just had better movesets and stuff like that. So now I was thinking to myself, all right, well, they're just going to keep stalling. So let's see if we can go with the Shadow Ball. I'm going to try and drop this special defense. At least I might be able to cause the swap here. Great damage there with the Shadow Ball. I was happy with that. Here comes the Draining Kiss. So Draining Kiss is doing a really good amount of damage still, right? So that Gardevoir is getting all of its health back. So I really needed one special defense drop here. So I kept going for it, and I was hoping for it, and I didn't get one on the second one. I was like, all right, well, I've got one more chance here on Esparta to get that. I sort of used it all up. At least on this one, they won't be able to get, like, much health back. So go for that Shadow Ball for the third one there, and on the very third one, I finally got it. I'm like, okay, cool, you know, this is going to be good. And they use Wish, so that was interesting. So they're going to make sure their Gardevoir has all the health, and now they swapped it out as well, like after that one special defense drop. Now they're going to go into the Esparta. I'm just going to go for Shadow Ball here because I already thought that I'd be fainting this turn. And that did a good amount of damage to the Esparta. I got a special defense drop. That didn't really matter because this Esparta is not really like a stalling Pokemon, right? So I can go for another Shadow Ball, and that is going to be enough to take out the Esparta there. It did have a special defense drop too, but that wasn't too much of a problem. I could have swapped my other Pokemon in for that. So in comes the Gardevoir again. We already know what this set is, and now it doesn't have a special defense drop. It's also going to trace opportunities too. So even if I had like a boosting move, I wouldn't really be able to use it. So go for Shadow Ball there, and it lived on 1 health. I was like, oh, so close, right? Now the Gardevoir is going to go for a Draining Kiss, and that is the end of Esparta. But now the Gardevoir is finally on a little bit of health here. There's nowhere to stall. There's nowhere to hide. I can finally get rid of this thing. So I'm going to go into Flogs here. I know they could use Wish this turn, but it doesn't matter. I'm just going to go for a Moonblast and take it out. So go for the Terra Flogs here because the Gym Leader is going to be Terroring straight away, and that's going to turn me into the Psychic type. So after the Gardevoir, there's one more Pokemon, which of course is the Flogs too. So that's going to be the end of the Gardevoir finally, and now there's only one Pokemon left, which is good. It's like, all right, I wonder what this Flog set is going to be. I'm sure it's going to be similar to mine, right? So, the color is different. And the first move they use is Wish. I'm like, are you serious? Are you serious right now? You've done that for 5 minutes already. So now I'm going to go for a Moonblast there. It did no damage. And the opposing Flogs is going to go for a Terra too. So I'm like, well, I'm assuming they have to go Terra Psychic on this. And yeah, at least that part they did copy, right? So we got the Terra Psychic, which I guess it doesn't really matter because we're not really going to be using Psychic moves against it. So watch this, right? So they went for a Moonblast. I got a special attack drop. I'm like, damn, that's unlucky. It's unfortunate. Now I'm going to go for my own Moonblast, and it's doing very little damage there. So now the Flogs are going to get healed all the way up from the Wish before. So here comes the second Moonblast from the Flogs again there, and that drops my special attack again. So 2 times in a row. I was like, man, this is unlucky. 2 in a row. That's really, really bad. You know, I can't swap it to another Pokemon because Gallade is asleep, right? Because more than one Pokemon got to sleep. So I got hit by another Moonblast there, 3 Moonblasts in a row, and 3 special attack drops. I just can't beat this hacks, you know, it's just too difficult. So I went for another Moonblast. I'm desperately trying to put the Flogs and a low amount of health dealing with another Wish Pokemon, and they're going to go for Psych. Any move would have failed me there. So my last Pokemon is the Gallade, which was put to sleep at the same time as another Pokemon, and I'm going to swap these in. I'm just hoping I can wake up here and, you know, be able to take it out there, and I don't wake up, and that is the end of the battle there. I was hoping I could win that one. But anyway, thank you people for watching this battle there, and I'll be back tomorrow with another video and streams, stuff like that. Peace.